I'm Robin Burridge here with Northeastern Manitoulin and the Islands Mayor Al McNevin. Al, we understand that there was a special meeting of council last night to discuss the Cup and Saucer. We were wondering if you could fill us in a little bit.
Yeah, so ever since the announcement that the Cup and Saucer Trail was closed over the weekend, our staff have been working in the background trying to find other options, another way to find access to the Cup and Saucer Trail. So we have been in conversations with the Escarpment Biosphere Conservancy. They have trails at the west of the area that the current entrance is. Mm-hmm. The issue is trying to create an access point in that area. We have an unopened road allowance and the possibility of creating a parking area that would make it safer for people traveling the highway to pull over and hike up that other entrance. So until last night, we didn't have confirmation from the Escarpment Biosphere group that they were willing to proceed with that. So we called a meeting to make sure council was supportive of taking the steps necessary to create that entrance. There is a cost involved and time and equipment. So subject to the approval of the EBC group, council recommended supporting those options. So after the meeting, council had given approval to do that, but we still hadn't heard back from the EBC about whether they were on board. So sometime last night we got confirmation that they were willing to proceed. So there were issues with us for getting an entrance permit from the Ministry of Transportation to exit the highway and create that parking area. So again, just last evening we got confirmation that they would give us at least a temporary permit to go ahead with that. So that's what we're going to do.
So where exactly is the new entranceway?
Well, it's a couple of kilometers west of the existing entrance to Cup and Saucer. It's at the boundary between Billings Township and Northeastern Manitoulin and the Islands. So
on Highway 540, correct?
On Highway 540. Mm-hmm. And it's roughly opposite the Cold Springs Cemetery area, a little bit up the road from it. And there's existing trails from the Escarpment Biosphere group up to Cup and Saucer.
How much of the existing or the trails that people know from the Cup and Saucer will be lost with this?
It's only a guess, but I think it's the lower part. Maybe about 20% of the existing trails will be lost. But the major lookout and the adventure trail are all on the property that's owned by the Escarpment Biosphere group.
So the majority of the trails
yes.
will still be maintained?
I think with some improved signage and some maintenance on the trails and some new access points, it'll be a great trail still.
Perfect. And when do you guys plan on beginning the work?
We're hoping to start as early as next week, but we need to get the permit in our hands before construction can start. Also, before any of the parking lot construction can take place, there'll have to be some tree clearing, and we're going to outsource that, possibly through the EBC and some volunteer groups that might be willing to work. But we haven't nailed down the details yet, but we hope to complete it within a couple of weeks. So ahead of the major tourist season, too late for some of the weekends, but it's our only option really at this point.
I understand that the Northeast Town's going to be initially covering the brunt of the costs. What else is being done to help offset these costs?
Well, again, the group, the EBC, has offered to do a funding program to try and raise money for something similar to Friends of Cup and Saucer. At the same time, I've been in conversations with a few of the municipalities to see if we could get support. Whether that'll translate into financial support, I don't know. But they were definitely behind us trying to find other options, and would have written the necessary letters to different government agencies to get that support. So I think everybody on the island recognizes the value of the Cup and Saucer. It was a last-minute closure. No one had a heads up it was going to happen, and so it's hard to get people moving on a long weekend to make things happen. But I give credit to our staff for working all weekend and going out to the site with the EBC and getting an agreement in place. So we're hoping that we can at least have an option that people enjoy the trail for years to come.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for speaking with the Manitoulin Expositor today. We really appreciate it.
My favorite newspaper.
Thanks, Al.